Hello everybody, welcome to Dark Saint Games. In this video I'm going to walk you through how to use my Universal Foliage Swap component for Unreal Engine 5.6. What this plugin does is it allows you to take painted foliage meshes and just general static meshes and swap them into an interactable when the player is in range. All this takes is two components. You set up the data table, set your parameters how you want. They are set to where it is most performant, but I have exposed these variables to everybody to use and adjust as needed. Everything is modular. It is blueprint friendly. It doesn't really need anything done in blueprint. There's not much to override with it, and it requires no C+ knowledge. So as everybody knows, when you paint foliage onto the landscape, you can't really do anything with it. You can set collision up on it so that you don't run through them, but you can't really do anything else with it. You can't chop it down. You can't do anything. You can't pick up this item as it's just a static mesh, or this one. But what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to take that and turn it into this. And as I will show you here, these aren't even relevant. But this right here, all these trees are instant foliage actor. That is all it is. Same with this right here. And then this sword right here is just a static mesh. It's nothing. But as you can see, when I play, I overlap this and I can pick it up. And I can also come over to these mushrooms over here and I can pick them up. And then we'll run over to this tree really quick and I'll show you how this works. This tree here is also just a static mesh. But as you can see, it chops it down, performs all of that. And the really cool thing about it is there is a variable that will set it to respawn. Those mushrooms popped up back over there. These trees will appear back here in a minute. That sword will not, as I made it a one-time use pickup. The trees have a longer delay on them for that, but see, there's that one's back, and you'll see that one spawn back here in just a second. I don't want to take up too much time here. There it is. And then you can come back and harvest these later. Obviously, the time I have set will probably be longer in my personal game, as I would think it would be in yours, just for more of a resource management type thing. I've got this kind of inspired from Zelda games, where if you harvest all the stuff, mushrooms, or in one area, and you come back to that area later, it will be there. And as I can show you, I've got mushrooms in here, and then also I got the sword. I didn't pick up any of the harvest wood, but it is there. So it's real easy to set up. I will walk you through how to do that right now. Okay, give me just a second to get everything that we need opened up. So all you got to do when you purchase it and you have it in your library is create a new folder called plugins. And I recommend doing this because I plan on doing some updates and probably a little bit more iteration on how we set it up. As of right now, it's got to be set up with a blueprint for each individual item, which is really not that difficult to do. I'm using the flexible combat system for this demonstration, but I have tested this in Narrative Pro and ACFU as well, and it works in both of those systems flawlessly. So what we want to do is we want to take the Universal Foliage Swap here and paste it in our plugins folder. We go ahead and open up this project. Like I said, this takes minimal setup. It really does. There's not much to do this. Add 2 components onto your player character. Create a data table for your BP items with the row name matching the mesh, the static mesh that will be used. You set your respawn yes or no and your respawn delay, how long it will take. I put a lot of focus into this, trying to make it as clean and modular as possible for all systems. So if there is any issues, I will be linking in the purchase of it, my Discord channel, so you will be able to ask questions or post any bugs if you find them, and I will fix them as quick as I can for you. So we go up here, we make sure that it is installed. It will be called Foliage Swap. I have not fixed it yet, but before I launch this, I will make sure that this name is Universal Foliage Swap. So what we need to do is we need to open up your player character. Like I said, it doesn't matter what system you are using, this should work flawlessly. We want to add the foliage swap component and the foliage respawn component. So in the foliage swap component under universal foliage right here, you will see we have a foliage table, our detection radius, and like I said, I've set these to be the most performant there is. You don't really need to worry about this unless you have a specific trace channel that you want it to hit on, but it will work because everything is defined in this data table. Max swaps per check, overlaps per check, max detection in milliseconds. Cooldown, I do recommend setting this to 10,000. I will maybe set that up before I publish this, and then all the debug events are in here as well. And you can change the color. This is for the foliage, painted foliage meshes, and this is just for your regular static meshes. In the foliage respawn component, there's not really anything you need to do. You can show debug spears if you wanted to. You can, I wouldn't worry about the limits, but the respawn part, you can also change the default respawn delay or the respawn radius. So I've got it set to 200 because you don't want to be in an area and you have 20 blueprints spawning in at once. So this is here to clean up that so that you do not have too many at one time. So what we want to do is wherever your data tables folder is, you can go to miscellaneous data table and just type in foliage swap row. And we're going to do dt underscore test, let's see, tutorial test. We're going to open this up. Where'd it go? So a few important things here. The row name has to match your source mesh. So as my default meshes that I have, we're going to use the trees. So put that there. F2 to rename, and SM underscore tree large. Spelling matters here, folks, so make sure you get that right. So tree large, this already comes with a tree large blueprint. We do want it to respawn. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to something like 10 just so we can show. I'm also going to add in, which ones do I have painted out here? large and medium. You know, I'm going to leave medium alone. I'm not going to add it so that you guys can see that. You know, I'm going to, because I already showed that it didn't spawn anything in. So let's jump to this mesh. Click on our row. Name it. There is some setup for this, and I'm going to work on maybe making it easier if I can. But this is the most performant way that I was able to get it all to work correctly. And we'll just do 10 on that as well. And just to show that I am not telling you any lies, we are going to set up the sword, this sword, and this shield as well in this. Those are both right here. So let's grab the shield, add a new row, add this, and we'll have to make a blueprint for that really quick. That's not a big problem. sm_shield. Save. So depending on how your system's set up, you're either going to have your pickup items coming from a data table, or you will have separate pickups from, you know, separate blueprints per thing. For the ones that you want to do, like if you have mushrooms or herbs or anything like that, just create a child of that. And just do this one, bp_sword test, and we'll duplicate that, bp_shield test. And let's do the sword one first. So mine's set up as a data table, which is not my preferred way to do it, but that is how it is in here. So I'm going to set the static mesh to that, and also the item data to that as well. And then we're going to open up the shield one, and we are going to do the same thing. Weapon shield, and shield, I can't spell, shield. So back in here, we'll go to our shield one, and we will do BP test shield. And I don't want it to respawn. Don't have to worry about the respawn timer because we do not want it to respawn. Add another one, and we will go back to our meshes real quick. Like I said, there is some setup with this, but it is very performant, and once you have it all set up, you won't have to set it up again unless you want to add something new. Sword test, we don't want it to respawn. You know what, I'm going to have it respawn too, just because that way we have two instanced foliage meshes and two static meshes. One will respawn, one won't. We will even turn off the medium tree from respawning just for testing here. And like I said, I've gone through this with a bunch of different systems to make sure that it is as universal as possible. And so that should be pretty much it if I'm not forgetting something. So we'll just test really quick on this sword. And I am missing something there. Me just a second. You go collision maybe. Oh, you know, that's going to be... No, yeah, that's right. It's going to be a collision parameter here. You know what? I might have lied to you. We may need to do that. Oh wait, nope. I lied. I'm sorry. Didn't set the data table. And just for detection purposes, you can set this up just to use world static. Most everything should. You can set it up for all of them. That's why I put this in here, so you can make sure that your stuff is going to spawn. I tried to make it to where everybody could use this, and see, there it is. Sword picks up, shield picks up, sword just respawned, pick it back up, and now we have 2 swords. And it won't respawn while I'm standing here. It will. I will fix that before I send it out, because that should not have done that. And then we will also show you the trees. And that works. Just the way it's supposed to. I've got 2 projects open, so there's a little bit of glitchiness, but obviously in your real world game you most likely aren't going to have your weapons and other items respawning. Now I'm over encumbered, but yeah, I mean that is pretty much all there is to it. Like I said, if you guys do see any bugs or anything, please let me know in the Discord, and I will get a patch sent out on it as quick as I can. I hope you all enjoyed everything here. I hope you find this very useful. Please like, subscribe, share. I appreciate all of you. Thank you.